You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Meana Oniro Trello. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
Kalispera, everyone. Welcome to the Gate 7 International Podcast, your official English source for all things Olympiacos FC and Greek football. This is episode number 80. My name is Peter Thompson. I'm here with my co-hosts Lambros Sirmos and Ari Bouloubasis. Costa should be along soon. He's just celebrating the blowout victory a little bit, and so he might be along at some point later. But we're all in a pretty good mood here. We just absolutely slapped Panathinaikos 4-1. The Super League season, the playoffs are finally over. These meaningless games that we don't care about are finally coming to an end, which is very exciting, I have to say. And we're going to get right into it after a couple of housekeeping announcements here. One thing that you've maybe seen if you've been on our social media, Gate 7 INTL, is that we do have an awards show coming up next week. It'll be airing this time next week on May 23rd. 21:30 Central European time. That's 10:30 p.m. Greek time. And I suppose it is 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Adi, correct me if I'm wrong. We will be giving out some awards to players of Olympiacos. We'll also be celebrating some moments throughout the season. The poll is up on our social media now, Gate 7 INTL. Feel free to vote in the poll. The fan voting will count into the actual awards. So we really appreciate your input on that. We're very excited to do the awards, and it should be quite a bit of fun. You can access the link to the poll, as I said, on our socials, as well as gate7intl.com. Additionally, we are thinking about doing a bit of a roundtable post-season. We're always looking for things to talk about when there's not any games going on. And we were thinking of having some conversations with some of the folks from the old forums. You know, these are things like GreekSoccer.com, OlympiacosWorld.com. I know Adi was once a menace on these forums every day, typing away, keyboard warrior over here, trying to show everyone the truths about Greek football. So maybe, Adi, you want to talk a bit more about this idea that we had.
Back in my teenage years, 18, 19, early 20s, back in the previous decades of my life. Yeah, no, this was something we were thinking about, kind of bringing some of those discussions, some that got very heated, to the live stage. We thought it could be fun, and we're going to start off with the Olympiacos fans first. We're going to see how that goes. Then we might branch out and kind of do something with other teams, other fans. I know that there are still a lot of fans on the Fantas site that were ex-GreekSoccer.com people that still chat up the game. We brought them up before. So we're going to start slow. We're going to start with the Olympiacos fans. Again, if you were an Olympiacos fan, DM us, or you can DM me on Twitter at Aristides06. It's the same on Instagram. You can DM me on Facebook as well. Send me what your handle was, and if you're interested in doing this roundtable. We've already got quite a few people that have messaged me already that are interested in this, so it should be fun. Again, reach out to us. It's kind of cool to see and put some faces to some of the old handles, and I think it'll be a good time.
Be careful, though. Adi's going to come in and just, if you've got the wrong handle, he's going to be like, oh, you're Paukista 1928? Get out of my face. You're not coming on the show. You don't want to be on this man's bad side. Anyway, on that note as well, like, we do have almost a month and a half or so with no games or really anything to do before the European qualifiers start for next season. And we're always looking for new, innovative content to give you all. So if anyone has ideas for fun things that they would want to see, whether it's an interview, a specific personality to bring on, or even just like some stuff that you would want to see us talk about or want to hear our takes on, we'd be more than happy to oblige. So feel free to send us a DM and give us any ideas that you might have.
Oh, and we are planning on doing Boozing with the Boys Part 3. There will be a postseason edition. Don't know when that's going to happen, but I've had a couple people DM me about that as well.
scary stuff.
Excited. Very excited.
Scary. More not so excited. More I'm scared. George returning to the podcast for a third time.
And I'm hearing some good suggestions already. Zaferap05 says do something with the Euros. That could certainly be exciting. Of course, Greece are not playing, but it'll be still. We'll all have our eyes on the Euros definitely. So that could be something good to do. We're going to keep pushing content out for you is the bottom line. Whatever it may be, whatever people want, we're going to keep providing, and we're because we love doing this and we're very excited to keep doing so. As well, Olympiacos DC Academy. They're actually on a bit of a winning streak here. Look out. They're coming in. The team has got a few games under their belt. They're starting to perform a little bit. Adi, what can you tell us about Olympiacos DC?
So Olympiacos DC, guys, they're on a hot streak. I don't know if you've been paying attention. For those of you that have been watching the games, they've won 2 in a row. They look pretty good. They're not squandering a lot of opportunities. The play is better. The kids are learning to play together. Again, there may be 1 or 2 players going to Greece this summer. There may be, some players that have had tape sent. You heard Harry Karageorge when he talked to us. There were some that have tape. That players that are getting a look. So have a look at some of these games, and you might be able to tell who they are. There are some pretty good players for this team. They're fun to watch. The games have been pretty tight. Even all but one of the games that they lost were really tight, and they're putting it together. They're tightening the defense up. They're fun to watch right now. So check them out. They beat Dream FC last week, and they're going to look to repeat that performance against them today. So that game's in about 3 hours if you're unfamiliar with the time zones. So I encourage all of you to check it out. For those of you that have, thank you. The viewership has been getting more and more every week for them, and they really appreciate the support.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. As soon as we'll be wrapped up with the podcast here, you can hop over to Olympiacos DC and watch the game. Hopefully they beat up on Dream FC today. Dream FC can go get in the bin after today's performance. And then the last thing that we want to say before we get into the game is, as always, thank you to our sponsor, Piraeus International. Piraeus International has been helping Greeks ship to and from the motherland during COVID-19. Shipments to Greece are going out from Baltimore, Maryland to USA every month. Fill any large U-Haul box 18 by 18 by 24. Send it to our friends in Baltimore, and it will be shipped to the port of Piraeus for only $50. Better yet, fill any large wardrobe box and send it for $100. Give them a call at 410-675-4696 or send an email to sales@PiraeusINTL. So we're going to get, I would say, straight into the game. Or maybe we'll do a bit of news first.
Shall I run news real quick?
News points, let people flow in for the game. But yeah, Lambro, you're the newsman here. So what have you got for us? I
am the newsman. So I told you guys last week, actually, it's been a week since our last podcast, that Roma FC and Jose Mourinho may be in for Ruben Semedo. Supposedly that is true. It's now being confirmed by people on both sides, the Italians and the Greeks. So we'll see where that goes. Some more transfer news that we've heard. Tiquinho Suarez is heavily linked. We've been talking about him. He played with Martins at Guimarães. He's a 30-year-old free agent. He was released from his club in China. He was a star at Porto. And it's a move that we see may be needed with Hassan and El Arabi going to Copa Africa. And also if Martins is looking to play with 2 strikers in the future, as he did today very successfully, other than Hassan fluffing many chances like usual, it could be necessary. So yeah, that's basically the transfer news. Belhanda, what happened to Belhanda? Who knows? Who knows what happened to Belhanda? But anyway, that's all the news we got for transfers so far, guys.
And I just want to say, preemptively, Marios Terzopoulos has caught me out. What are you eating? I'm having some spaghetti with primavera sauce. It's 1 p.m. over here, and I didn't have time to make lunch before the podcast. Thank you very much. I usually eat when the podcast is going on. If you've got a close eye on the YouTube video, you can usually catch me eating something. Anyway, I was going to say, some folks might be clamoring for a Tiquinho deep dive here. Adi might do what he can, but it's not going to be like your usual deep dive, and it's not going to be as useful because there's not exactly a lot to go off from his time in China. It's obviously there's some rumors that, you know, he wasn't in a good situation there. He wasn't like in with the coach. And so like, it's hard to judge anything off of that performance. And, you know, we also don't want to take film and stats from like over years ago. So we might not have a great deep dive for you for Tiquinho, but don't let that be an indicator of how serious it is, because we do think that this is really serious. And as we said earlier, the Africa Cup of Nations is this summer, and we have a very big African contingent in our team, including our 2 strikers. So we need someone in for July 1st to play as the starting striker in these European games, and Tiquinho might be that guy. For me, it seems encouraging. Hopefully it doesn't happen the way Belhanda happened, as Lambro said, and just like poof, disappears into nothing out of nowhere. But yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting one, and wouldn't mind seeing him in the team.
Yeah, Tiquinho, look, I could go through his tape at Porto and tell you what we could get, but when you have a guy that's gone to China, and a lot of players, when they go to China, they just collect the paycheck and they do nothing. We've seen it a lot. I mean, you guys remember Oscar Garcia for Chelsea goes and gets that ridiculous contract, and then no one ever heard from him again. No one really checked up on how he was doing in China, and he plays well, but I mean, it's China, and let's be honest, no one really cares. So people go there to collect a paycheck, and
China in the mud right now, Adi, just destroying China. Like
I have
Mongolia, so
they barely
China.
even get
Chinese Communist Party coming at us, you know.
Well, have you ever watched the games? Like, I've seen a couple of them like randomly posted on like random streams, and like there's no one ever in the stands. So I don't understand where they get all this money to throw at these people, because nobody in China seems to actually give a shit. Anyway, so I'm not super worried when I see a player go not do anything in China because he was just collecting this absurd paycheck and coming back. And this guy, by the way, he was on a 10 million euro contract.
In question here, can he play on the wing?
Can-ish, yes. Again, I haven't watched a lot of tape. I have seen that he has, and he can play on the wings, but I don't know if it's. I have to watch. I have to see how he plays. I have to see his tendencies. I have to see what happens to see if that's something that I'm comfortable with. So I couldn't tell you. Again, on Y-Scout, they have him listed as a primary striker, secondary winger. So that's just according to the data that they have. But I have to watch. I have to take the data, watch what he does, and put it together to see what I think he's capable of. And again, I mean, anything I tell you guys, if this guy comes in from China overweight, anything I tell you means nothing. It's only what we could see. So that's why this case in particular, it's not really worth it for me to spend hours of my life watching film when it's been 2 years since anyone's really seen him play.
Yeah, Mihari's going to be crying in the other room, so Adi can't be watching too much Tiquinho film. But yeah, I mean, say what you want about China. As Laszlo Bologna has taught us, there's, the Chinese refs and the Chinese players are certainly nothing in comparison to China's northern neighbors, Mongolia. If Tiquinho was playing in Mongolia with the great Mongolian refs, maybe it would be a different story. Maybe we'd be able to get a better read on him. It is a bit discouraging that it's a bit of a wild card, but yeah, Lambro, what do you got?
But we also had the wild card with El Arabi from like the Middle East. So who knows? I think when
that was not a wild card. The guy was scoring a goal. He was averaging a goal.
Yeah, but it's also Qatar. You're like, who? Like Adi, you would be banging in like Qatar's Xavi Jr. over there in the midfield.
I mean, come on, no. Like when you see, if you see somebody in Qatar and it's like, okay, like a goal every other game, then you're like, it's Qatar. But a goal and a half a game, like we knew El Arabi had something.
Fair enough.
We knew he would be at least serviceable.
So I'm trying to think who would it be. Valbuena coming after injury from Fenerbahce, maybe.
See, that was more of a flyer, right? Because he had a terrible season with Fenerbahce, and the fans hated him there. They were like, "Oh, garbage, take him." And then all of a sudden, the next season, like, "Oh my God, who was this guy?" Yeah. So for me, this is like a middle. Like if we're thinking of risk, right? So the guy wants over 2 million euros. Now, we've seen reports that we have offered either 1.5 with bonuses or like 1.7 a year. So no transfer fee. So, but at 1.5, 1.7, no transfer fee. This is like a mid-level like kind of like middle risk. It's not the riskiest and it's not low risk. It's like here. So is it a flyer in a manner of speaking? But signs are pointing to this is at least something as a secondary striker that should pan out for us.
And Pedro Martins has worked with him. We have to say that as
Yes.
well, right? That's a big factor. And I kind of want to. I missed out on this, but supposedly there were rumors that Andreas Bouchalakis may have an offer from abroad, somewhere in Germany, to go play around 7 to 8 million euros. Like maybe would be the fee. Well, we got word this past week that he signed a new deal. He sat down with Vagelis Marinakis and signed a new contract for 2 more years. He got a raise by almost double his salary to 700,000 euros a year. Also, according to reports, Jose Holebas has sat down with the chairman, Vagelis Marinakis, and has extended his contract for 1 more year. So all good news on that front. Happy to see Bouchalakis staying at Olympiacos and Jose Holebas for 1 more year. You know, I think he's still got it. You know, so.
And Holebas's money is like doubled. I mean, he wasn't making that much to begin with, but his money was doubled.
Yeah, no, he was brought in on a flyer. Like I don't even know if he was making like 100, 200,000.
He wasn't.
Like he was.
I don't even think he was making 100 a year. When
For
I
me,
saw,
he undoubtedly earned it for me. I would say.
so he definitely earned a double.
All right. Well, shall we get into the game?
Yeah, let's do it.
There's a quick question here. It looks like
sorry.
for.
Oh yeah, there's a question. Will
I'm assuming he
Socrates
means for the Kipelo.
and be ready Ba is done for the
Ba's
season.
done. Yeah,
Ba's
Ba's done for the season.
So Socrates, I feel like should be. No, I don't.
They said he's. You know how they are, like Nikola Kopoulos, always like he's fighting to make it. They always say that shit. So we'll know closer to the game, but like he's fighting to make it according to the sources. We'll see what the hell that means, but you know,
wonderful.
Yeah,
thanks.
We'll keep informed.
They're probably going to give him one of those shots in the back to see, to help him out. But Ba, we said this already. He was done for the season with his back. Surgery, I think, was what they were going for, and they needed 8 weeks for recovery. So he'll be back for the qualifiers, but he's done.
Well, Costa has joined us, and he's here right in time. We're about to start the game. Perfect. Yeah,
that's the entrance we would expect, of course, after a 4-1 win against Panathinaikos.
Yeah,
and we have a comment here from Fannis who says Socrates is 50% to play. Yeah, that's what we've heard. We'll see what the deal is.
Didn't need him to crush Panathinaikos today. Didn't even we crushed them with a 16-year-old in defense. Hilarious. Guys, I mean, what do we say besides just having a laugh? Like, we were up 2-0 early on. They got a penalty. They missed a penalty. Sa saved a penalty. And then we got 2 more goals eventually on in the game. Like, Panathinaikos just fouling left and right. Androutsos once again just getting absolutely killed by their players because they can't defend him. Mari Camara killed by their players because they can't defend him either. Like, what do we even say? Costa, I know you're ready for a victory lap here.
Does anybody want to say anything about Masouras' finish on the first goal?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that was like Romario, USA 94 toe poke with the left foot. Wow.
Yep.
That was incredible. Yep. That was incredible. I was reading somewhere as well that like 80% of his goals this season, are from first touch finishes. Like no control, just first touch finish. And he did that twice today. Just diagonal run, toe poke with the left foot, and then another diagonal run, and then shot across the goal. Beautiful. Really.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the pass from El Arabi as well to set.
Well, shout out to Hassan, because that goal happened with the run that he made to the left. He pulled his defender with him, which then took Masouras' defender, and he went towards the center to go after El Arabi, which opened Masouras up for the run. And then when he got the ball, he was all alone. So I will give kudos to Hassan for that, because that off the ball movement was stellar from him.
Hassan with the assist on the second one as well, I believe, right?
who knows? Hassan is.
He had some tragic.
Let's just keep it
finishes.
at that. But I want to
nice
a lot of people are now saying Yorgos Masouras is easily the best Greek winger, and I'm putting it out there right now. Is he? I say yes.
Statistically.
Zolis who? Like, honestly, it had to be said. Limnios who? I don't know any of these players. Hatziovanis.
Hatziovanis is like not even. He's not in the conversation at all.
But so we've been saying for a very long time. A lot of people have been saying it actually. With Masouras, like, you know, he's good. He's always been actually, Marios, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth here. Marios Teresopoulos, Masouras is underrated. If he wasn't Greek, he would get praised every single game. And yeah, that's fair. I think that's a very fair assessment. Look, he's not a fancy guy. He's not like Marios Vrusai or Bruma that can take players on sufficiently, but he does the simple things well. He tracks back very well. The lacking thing was his end product. And a lot of people have said that. And look at what's happened the last couple of weeks. His end product has been, and I'm not just talking about shooting, right? And scoring goals. It's keeping shots on target, picking corners, getting balls to feet when you're playing balls in the box. And Masouras is distributing well as taking shots and taking his opportunities. That end product is finally there. And look how dangerous of a player he is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. More reason to not really worry that much about Bruma, I think, as well. To have him as a winger in this team, I would say. Yeah, really, really good performance from him.
Of course, Peter, can I say something? Can I say something? Bruma, Greek Player of the Year, according to someone. I don't know who. His agency.
CIS football.
Is he even the best winger on the team? Yorgos Masouras. Putting him in
Bruno joining elite company Marco Lavaya.
Yeah, that's like Marco Lavaya, like fan vote player of the year. It was just embarrassing, and I don't know, guys. Today's game was interesting because I feel like they had a decent amount of chances as well. We have to say,
did.
like,
it has to be said, yeah.
I don't know. It was a bit strange of a game.
Any of them away though. That's why I say, like, the quality was just not there, I would say. They actually, like, had some decent ability to get in our final third and get some chances, but no, they didn't look like they were going to come close to scoring at all, except for obviously the penalty. And I think maybe they hit the post once. And when we had the ball, it was like, is there anything that you can do, Panathinaikos? Like, are you just going to let us have it, or just, like, throw a leg into one of our players and bring them down? Like, that's the only mechanism they had to stop us from bringing the ball up the pitch. Just like, John Paschaleinopoulos, 37
I love
points.
it.
Oh, geez. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just levels. That's all we can say. Like, they might have got some chances, but they also let us have, like, tons of literally point blank chances, and we put away 4 goals. So, you know, what are a few chances when you can't keep a team from scoring that many goals?
I need these. Poor guy. Rough day at the office today. Hit the post. Just like nothing really worked for him that he did. I felt kind of bad, but it was a tough outing. Tough outing for him. I wanted to give a shout out to Mari today, because those first 2 goals both came from, whether it was an interception or him just wresting the ball away from the Panathinaikos player. Both of those counters, both of those possessions that led to the goals started from Mari doing the dirty work, getting the ball, and then playing a nice ball up to whoever was making the run, and then literally starting those plays. Shout out to Mari, because without that, we don't get those first 2 goals. And that's something Mari gives us, and he'll give any team that's going to be lucky enough to have him. Enjoy what you saw today, guys. Remember it. Enjoy what we're going to see when Mari plays this weekend for the Kipelo, because
the last time.
It's the last time. So enjoy it.
Yeah, our days are numbered with him. Yeah. Well, I guess, like, briefly, we should, Panathinaikos had one nice moment in the entire game. Mauricio scored a good goal, but, of course, it didn't matter. But was a very nice goal for him. The announcers on Nova Sports were very excited about it, even though I didn't know what they're saying, but they were quite clearly very excited about it. It was a nice goal. Our boy Kavrogeropoulos got done a little bit on it, but you live and you learn. It's a tough one to get in the way of.
I mean, it was a nice little flick and a nice finish.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much he could do besides foul the guy, to be honest with you. So, and then there was one other, I think it was before the penalty, or what ended up being called the penalty. Kalogeropoulos got beat down in that corner for the ball that was played in. I think it was before the shot that was called for the penalty. But other than that, I thought he had a great game today. Again, 16 years old, going toe to toe with starters for other teams, and really showing that he has something to offer us. Retos 2.0.
I was surprised he played today at all. I thought we would go 4-4-2 or something with M'Vila and Semedo.
Me too, but hey, I'll take it.
He played the full 90, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Great.
did.
Well, we don't have many options going into the cup next week, but I doubt he'll play. But Socrates, is he going to be ready? We don't know. Bar's out. So is it going to be Socrates, Semedo, M'Vila, Holebas at the back?
Maybe. And that's going to make me feel a little sketchy, because let's be honest, guys, there were today down the middle, especially the runs that were cutting the center backs out were a little scary. And I'm worried about that because PAOK does have more quality, at least, than Panathinaikos. You know, we kept Zivkovic pretty quiet last week before the Fiesta. So I'm a little bit more, or this past week, sorry, before the Fiesta. So I'm a little bit more concerned if we're not able to keep him quiet again and that we're allowing those runs behind the defense. I'm a little concerned.
And it would be concerning, I would say, as well, if M'Vila is left out of the midfield, as we've said as well. You know, another reason that we kind of really hurt from that is we lose all that presence in the midfield. So maybe like Costa said, I kind of doubt Kalogeropoulos starts in a cup final. We saw Tsolakis do it, but it was much more by necessity back then. Like, we have other options now. We really didn't last year. And Kalogeropoulos is even younger with, you know, two or three games of experience. But it might be the move to have M'Vila in the midfield, or maybe we go with 4 at the back and play Holebas as center back. But that would also be, I think, pretty fragile defensively. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't matter and we can still beat PAOK again. But it is going to make it a bit more nervy than it would be if we were healthy, that's for sure.
But the good news from today's game is that really we're firing on all cylinders going into the cup final. El Arabi got 2 goals, Masouras got 2 goals, Androutos looked really, really good today. Got stuck in, and more he's really owning that position. I think for him, this is really, this is personal. It's like next year, my goal, if I'm Androutos, is I don't want Coach Martins to ask the board for a right back because that spot's mine. And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
And speaking of us coming into the final in good form, let's take a look and see what PAOK did today. They lost.
I actually have no idea.
They lost Las Vegas.
Okay.
So not exactly picking up good form on the way to the final.
In some regard, it means nothing. A cup final is a cup final, but we have good rhythm going into it. We just beat them, and we've scored 4 goals away from home. By the way, Jose Sarr, some really top saves today, let alone the penalty. Yeah. So good form going into the cup final. I think there's going to be a fight over one of those positions on the wing. Masouras has it locked on, one position locked on the wing. Who the other one's going to be? I think it's going to be Bruma, but yeah.
Best player in Greece. You got to start him, huh? The best player in Greece.
Well, look, I don't want to knock the guy too much. I asked them.
Oh, I kind of do. He's just tragic. He's fucking terrible. Like, I honestly I am so ready to see this guy gone. Like, I can't wait for Fenerbahce to come in with a 10 million euro bid. PSV is like literally going to throw a party in Eindhoven. That's not a coronavirus finishing party. That's a Bruma gone party. Like, they're going to clean house with some stupid Turkish team behind him. It's going to be hilarious.
It's so funny because every week when, like, if he plays well or he scores or something, they're just flabbergasted. The fans, our friends that we know now in the media over there, they just get flabbergasted. And they're like, "Are you kidding me?" They're like, "Well, oh, okay. Are you guys going to pay the 6 million now?" No, of course not. Absolutely not. But it's hilarious. And then seeing that CIES football, look, congrats to him for being recognized from those people. I don't know what their criteria was. I don't know what stats they used were, but at the very least, he's not even the best winger at Olympiacos. We've already been through it. It's for us. It was like when we had that discussion in the past, it was up between like Masuras and Fortuny in terms of the production per 90, who is actually producing more. But that's it right there. Those are the two that have done the most with the time given. Bruma's not even in that conversation yet. Has he has some good weeks and bad weeks, but he's not in that conversation for me.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you wanna listen to some real awards that don't give Bruma best player in the league, make sure to tune into Gate 7 International Awards, because we'll give out actual awards to like players who deserve it. So nice plug there. No semi-pro awards over here. Yeah. But
no FIFA semi-pro. We don't do that semi-pro shit here.
No. Yeah. I mean, I think this game, as we said, like, we're going to bask in it because it was great. I'm also, we've talked about this before. The playoffs are like sometimes a bit boring, especially when you've like won the league. I get why they're there, but looking forward to the cup and then moving into next season, getting the transfer rumors up and roaring, and then into the qualifiers, which should obviously be really exciting, high stakes games that we're going to cover very, very fully. But these playoff games are just a slog to get through. Like Fetanos asks, is Vinagre considered a Greek champion?
He is.
He is. Is this his first trophy?
Yeah. Good on him.
Wait, I thought that technically, if you leave for loan at any point during the season, then you don't get titled.
No. You just need one appearance and you're in.
You just need one appearance.
True, because I need I need my guy Cisse getting his trophy.
So are they gonna mail the medal to him, or are they gonna melt it down and maybe give it out to supporters instead?
They should melt it down, or they should just like put it on a beach in Glifada, like in his honor.
They need to find a designer in Greece to make a very nice coat and call it the Vinagre, and they can put the medal.
Oh, beautiful!
Isn't there like a Saks?
They're going to be shipping a whole case of them out to Famalicão.
Famalicão is like 20 coats. Also, guys, on a serious note, I wanted to bring this up. So, Edlas Footy tweeted something about this, like the playoffs, is it shit? And like almost everyone said it's shit. Bono here says with the fans, the playoffs would be nice. And Costa, I know you have made this argument, and I pushed back. Do you want to defend playoffs, or have you changed your mind? What do you guys think about playoffs, Costa? Since you're like a bit more friendly to it, what's your thoughts like now that the season's over? Costa,
sorry, I'm having some issues with the mic here.
Oh, okay, no worries. You're good to go now.
I can jump in the meantime.
We heard you.
Yeah, we heard you, but anyway.
I can jump in the meantime.
Right,
I agree with Bono's opinion here. Like, I think, especially if there were fans and if we were competitive, I would say, then it would be nicer. Like if this game actually meant something for the standings, it would be like appointment TV, right? But it's going to be hard to get me to watch Olympiacos versus Aris, like when we've won the league and Thiago Silva is playing 90 minutes in the midfield and he's literally the most tragic player. He was nothing today, by the way. It's just this year it's been long, I would say. Maybe it's just more this year than the system itself. But yeah, I just can't be asked with these games this year. That's all I can say. I'm excited for the cup final that means something. I'm excited for the European games that mean something. But I do think that if there were fans and it was like, especially, obviously this game I think was in Leoforos, but like, if we'd have beat Panathinaikos 4-1 in Karaiskaki, that would have been amazing atmosphere. The people would have been out going crazy. But yeah.
Can I just come back? I'm sorry. I had a small issue.
Go ahead.
On that question of the playoffs, there's been a lot of talk in Greece the last decade about what our league should look like, how many teams there should be. There have been 20 teams, there have been 16 teams, there have been 14. I've lost count, to be honest. I've said before that the playoffs, normally under normal circumstances, it's good for TV revenues. It's good for the fans. Though some are arguing that we're taking the magic away from the derbies, and it's a derby should. I read a quote today. Can't remember who it was from. A derby is like an aged wine. You have to enjoy it. It's not like a beer, and now it's becoming like a beer. I think that was Bob Beans actually that said that earlier on Twitter. Nice analogy, Bob. I don't know, guys. Labro, you talked about the Swiss model. I think they have, 10 teams in their league? Or is it 8?
It's 10 teams, and everyone plays each other 4 times, so it ends up in 36 games. But then that's just as many derbies, so maybe people will be pissed off about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Who knows what tricks they have up their sleeves? I mean, they're talking about Olympiacos B, PAOK B, some of the teams in the Super League want to develop B teams so that they can play in Super League 2. Are there changes coming again in terms of how the league is formed, how many teams there are? I don't know.
But Costa, we already have a B team in Super League 1.
Oh, no.
And so do PAOK, actually, to be fair to them. So I don't know why this is being brought up.
Wait, also, didn't Super League 2 finish today? Who's getting... Hold on. We should have known this. Hold on. I'm going to Google who's getting promoted. I thought it was next
week. I thought there's one more match week.
We need Michael Vicini in here.
He was in here. He was in here earlier. But he asked if there were any if there was a Mongolian ref officiating, I think, or something like that. Yeah, but for me, I'll be honest with you guys, the playoffs.
Oh my God. Can I cut off real quick? Levadiakos looks like they will be promoted. Ionikos will play in the playoff. Xanthi finishing 4th on the last day after losing, what's it called? 1-0. Oh, actually, there's a Super League 2 playoff to play in the... Wait, hold on. How the hell does this stuff even work? Wait, so...
No, there is. There's a playoff. There's a playoff for promotion for the second spot.
No. I just clicked on Levadiakos's... Xanthi's, whatever, and supposedly there's another game they need to play.
Yeah, they do.
Who knows?
One more match week. There's one more.
No, but it says there's a playoff. I have no idea. Anyway, this is why LS Footy exists.
This is the way it works, Mambro. So remember last year, Apollon played Xanthi, and Xanthi lost, so they went down. That's what the playoff is. But there's also playoffs for the Super League 2, just like our Super League 1, the league splits, and so they have one more fixture of the league splitting. Because it started late, they only played each other once. So they had just 5 games of playoffs, and there's one more fixture of playoffs next week. And Levadiakos and Ionikos are both on 50 points right now. So Levadiakos play Xanthi, Ionikos play Ergotelis, and Hania play Diagoras. So theoretically, any of those top 4 teams could finish first and get promoted. And any of those top 4 teams could also finish second and have to play against whoever finished second to last in the first division. I want to say Panathinaikos, but I don't know. So then either of those teams would get promoted. So we could see one team get promoted from Super League 2, or we could see 2.
Costa, we lost you again.
Sorry, guys. Can I just address this message below here? Μιλήστε και λίγο ελληνικά, κάνα 2 λέξεις για τον Gallo. I'm not going to be an arsehole and just say I read that in Greek and that's more than 2 words. But, okay. We really love the fact that we have a growing audience in Greece. We love that Greeks from Greece are tuning into the show. The show is primarily an English-speaking podcast. Having said that, we will be having a former Greek player on during the off-season, and that interview will take place in Greek. So we will have some Greek episodes when we have situations like that. We do like to throw out some Greek words from time to time. We sing some Greek Olympiakos songs. I don't know if you missed me earlier. I'm sorry if you did. But όλα καλά, Alex. Θα έχουμε και λίγο ελληνικά. Μην αγχώνεσαι. All good. All good. And watch this space. You'll find out very soon, we hope, who that interview is with, former Greek Olympiakos player. Watch this space.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't really remember what we were talking about. I think
Super League 2. We were talking about
Super League 2. Anyway, don't listen to this podcast about Super League 2. We know jack all about Super League 2.
Lambro's an elitist fan.
Yo, I was like literally just like, holy shit, Levadiakos have been promoted, and then there's like a game or two.
They're literally tied for first. Lambro's attention to football goes like Super League 1 because Olympiakos are in Super League 2. I don't care. The lower divisions, he's like, Panionios are in there. That's my second team in Greece.
Oh, Panionios.
They're not even there. They're in the football league.
Yeah, Panionios in like the fifth of their games at least are streamed on YouTube, so I catch them every now and then just to.
Do you actually?
Well, maybe if I'm bored, you know. Not these days, a little busy.
Lockdown is done, so Lambro doesn't
Lockdown's lifted, so
Panionios anymore.
Exactly, we move.
Well, I mean, yeah. Is there anything else that needs to be said about this game? I mean, it was a decisive victory, and I think maybe now we just get into man of the match and coaching grade. Although, like, God, what do we do with the coaching grade at this point? It's just like Martins could have thrown out the under-19s and beat Panathinaikos today, that tiny club. Anyway, my man of the match is Masouras. Honorable mention to Androutsos, who played very well. Didn't get any score sheet or anything, but Androutsos played great. Went on the left for a little bit as well. He was great, but Masouras for me has to be man of the match for the 2 goals. Great job from him. Coaching grade, who cares? A. I don't really have much to say about that. Adi, what do you think?
A for me as well. And then I know it's probably Masouras, 2 goals and assists, has to be man of the match. For me, the honorable mention is coming from Madi because Madi did create those first 2 goals. And I'll still give that shout out to Hassan for the run that drew the defender away for the first goal. But that's probably the only positive thing he did besides the disallowed goal.
And shall I go next? Oh, you really had to shove the Hassan shout out, huh? You really had to do it for us? Anyway, Yoros Masouras, man of the match. And I want to say Thanasis Androutsos is a class fullback. Like, Peter touched on it earlier, but or it was Costa, I think. Like, Kenny Lala is just, he's going to have the best summer of his goddamn life. There's no vacation for this man. He's got to figure out what the hell he's doing because at this situation, he may be out, or even out the door. He may just be on the bench. Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
I was just going to say on Lala, because I'm actually glad you brought that up. I won't spend too much time on it, but I like him. I'm rooting for him so hard. You know, I was really excited when we made the signing, and I know he's good. And I've said this before, he doesn't seem to me like a Vinagre where he doesn't care. I think he cares. I think he wants to be here and he wants to be winning and playing in Europe, but it's just not clicking. And honestly, I have to be honest here. When I'm watching him play, if you didn't tell me that this guy was one of the best players at his position in Ligue 1 and the national team of France were looking at him, I would not believe you if you told me that and I didn't know who the player was. I would not remotely believe you, based on what I've seen from him.
If you switch the names and you were like, Androutsos is a French player from Ligue 1, you would just be like, this kid is the best fullback we've ever seen. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing with Lala, and that's why I don't want to be like, oh, this guy's a coat, fire him into the sun, send him to Famalicão. I don't care about him. Like I maybe am willing to give him a bit more of a chance than I should, because I like get the feeling from him that he like does care a little bit. Like he's an older player. He's not like some young idiot who like just came to Greece to take photos on Instagram. Like he's not really even on social media or anything like that. So I don't know, but like looking at the facts, it has to be said that he's just not producing, and Androutsos is like a top player and like probably the best fullback in Greece, can we say. So I don't really see Lala like getting in that much.
It's confidence for me with him, because look what every time he got the ball and he had space, he had easily a few touches of space he could have taken in front of him, to get the ball forward and then maybe even attempt to take a guy on to go down to the end line. And he never did it. He would stutter, he would stop, and then sometimes he would pass back with almost 10 meters of space in front of him before the next player. You have to take that. And players that are not comfortable with what they're doing, now on the left side, obviously, he's probably not comfortable at all, but I don't think he's comfortable in the scheme. He's not comfortable being part of a team that is all offense. On defense, he's more than functional, but I think very much it's a confidence issue with him.
In fairness, when he started out on the left, the first action he had, he got the ball and he ran past Joan Molo like he wasn't there. I don't know. I think with him, it's just the fact that he's come mid-season late, hasn't really had, pre-season counts, guys. These mid-season transfers from a player like Kenny Lala, who essentially we signed on a free. Let's not forget that. He played for a club that was in the bottom half of Ligue 1, defensive team, nothing to do with the style of play that we have. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I do think it's a confidence thing as well. And I think it's perhaps not night and day when Androutsos is playing compared to him, but Androutsos is well established in the team. He knows how the team works. He knows how the team plays. And that's why you see him bombing up and down the wing 5 or 6 times, and he's gelled into the team, and Kenny Lala isn't. So we have preseason ahead of us. I give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm looking forward to seeing much better from him next season, hopefully. Man of the match for me, Kavlogeropoulos. No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to say Kavlogeropoulos again.
Automatic man of the match every time he plays.
I mean, how can you not give it to Masouras? So it's easy Masouras vote. Jose Sarr, shout out for the penalty stop. That was at 2-0. Could have been 2-1, and he made some big saves. Again, he was there when he had to be. But yeah, Masouras, wow, I'm just very, very impressed with that guy today and the last few games, and I hope he doesn't stop going into next weekend.
Code of the match, Thiago Silva. Moving on.
There's 2 comments here about the Lala Oleg thing. From Mario Sterzopoulos, I can see Lala play as a left wing back. Oleg is good, but I'm questioning his potential. Banos Aguilakis, Lala and Oleg need time. They came 4 months ago. Bano, I'm agreeing with you 100% here. Mario, don't question yet Oleg's potential, not until he gets a full season. Porto, Luis, the analyst for B24 Sport in Portugal, told us, and apparently the Porto team kind of agreed with him. They saw more potential in Oleg than Zaidu long term, because they saw Zaidu as a physical player, but not the most mentally astute player. They believe that Oleg understood the game better than Zaidu Sanusi. The problem with Oleg is he is over-reliant on his speed, and you see that. He knows he's fast, and he thinks he's faster than everybody else. The problem is we have a couple of pretty quick guys in the Greek Super League as well, and when you get caught too far forward, sometimes he can get caught and not get back fast enough. Oleg has the goods. I'm convinced of that. The issue for me is, one, how can we get him to be a little bit more conservative and not over-reliant on his speed? And 2, the fouling, which wasn't as bad today. I think he had 2, which was still more than you'd like to see. He fouls a little bit needlessly, especially when he's pressing offensively. And that's what we need to work out of his game. But Oleg and Lala need a preseason with the team, and a full season to play. I can't judge them off of a few months of play. You know what I mean? Lala especially was in a completely different setup. Lala was in a team that played defense and was always defensive and was parking the bus and basically got forward only when they were on the counter. He's now in a position where we're up all the time and he has to get forward. He has to use his offensive ability. He's not relying on his defensive skill, which we know is good. We saw it in this right when he came, and he was picked over Andrúzos because he was more secure defensively. So don't question the potential, but give them a full summer to train with the team. Then we'll judge and we'll see what they do with the full summer of preseason.
I want to see his crossing improve. It's
better. For sure.
It's getting better.
Andrúzos is a beautiful cross. It has to be said, like for a midfielder. Even on the left foot. Didn't he give one on the left foot?
Oh, yeah, that was for the goal. Yeah, that was for the fourth goal.
God, this kid's so goddamn good.
Andrúzos is different gravy, man.
Yeah. Who would have thought Andrúzos would become
It was nice technique. It was nice technique on the cross, and it put good spin on the ball. But like El Arabi's header, my God, it was a little bit behind him, so he really had to like work those neck muscles to get that ball and hit it on target. That was like
CR7-esque, I would say. Like
was an exceptional goal. That was an exceptional goal.
How about that juicy cross, the first cross of the game, when Andrúzos, I forgot who it was for Panathinaikos, was defending him, and he takes the ball forward, then cuts it back and whips the cross in, and the poor Panathinaikos defender's like ankles are broken because he just like lunged and it wasn't even anywhere near him. Oh God, Andrúzos just oozes class and technique like that. He is incredible player.
Man, it amazes me how 2-footed he is as well. Like sometimes my favorite thing he does is like when he sort of pulls it back and cuts in and then crosses with the left foot. Like, God, he's such a great player. Anyway, greetings, Alex. Thank you for tuning in. That's a wonderful place to live. I'm very jealous. But I think we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. A bit of a shorter one, I know, but it is what it is. This midweek we do plan. Hopefully, we hope to be able to put out an episode midweek, doing a little bit of a recap of the league, going over, some stats, looking through like best players in the league, a few things like this. We'll just have that conversation. We might do it live as well. Keep an eye on our social media for more updates. And then this weekend, as we said, awards show. We're really excited. I've like been sort of brainstorming ideas for this. We have a whole lot of fun stuff. I promise, this is going to be one you don't want to miss. It's going to be this time next Sunday. Make sure to vote on the poll. You can go to the poll on gate7intl.com if you have not already. It's the featured article. So the first thing you see on the site, you just click that link and it will take you to the poll. There's 7 questions, so it shouldn't take that long. It's all just one-word answers. Just name a player that you think should win the award or whatever. And you don't have to answer all of them either if you just want to answer a couple. So please vote. We want to...
Vote. Vote.
Yeah, vote. So we want lots of responses on this. Tell your friends, retweet. I think it's our pinned tweet as well, I want to say, or, we have a lot of tweets and Instagram posts about it. So retweet and share with any Olympiacos fans. The questions are in English and Greek. So if you're primarily Greek speaker, you can, obviously answer it in Greek as well. We want to get Olympiacos fans around the world to have their input, and it would be really cool. And we've got some fun stuff planned to roll out the awards. It's going to be a great time. I'm very excited for this. So make sure to tune in. Until then, as we said, episode midweek, and then the awards cup final this weekend. PAOK need them bottling it like they always do in these big moments. It would give Lambro great strength for us to
Pablo Garcia Erhomaster. Oh, I'm so excited for Saturday. Is it Sunday? Sunday, it's whatever. Saturday.
No, it's Saturday.
Whatever day, it doesn't matter.
Oh, whatever. My God. Please,
Yorgos
Masouras, give me one last love for this season. Just give me.
Fun fact, by the way, guys, this is the first ever Greek Cup final that's going to be played as a friendly.
God. Oh.
Anyway, I think that's good enough to wrap up. Enjoy the game next weekend, folks. We'll see you next week for the awards show. Have a great week, and we will see you very soon.
And what do we say to all the other teams below us? How many points difference in the end, at the end of the league? 23, 24? Adeya. You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.